I'm addictive and expensive. Byron Wilcott. And I'm watching WGS-TV.
Happy New Year, everybody! Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/RoadsGamer and ZFXTV. Before we get started with the Raw review, I just want to take a short time out to inform everybody that yes, there was a lack of reviews last week here on WGS-TV, but for, of course, an obvious reason. It's the holidays. You know, I am still watching wrestling, but I'm not having the opportunity, like I would, to make reviews for you guys, because I got to spend time with the family. So.
Santa Claus, damn it.
No, that's somebody else with a sock. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to try to pick back up on the reviews, especially this week with the new year coming. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get things started. Of course, you now heard the voice of the studly man, Ashley. Ashley, Happy New Year. How you doing?
I'm actually talking to you from the year 2017.
He's in the future. I think he knows the doctor.
By the way, just a bit of advice, do not put the flan mix in the microwave. I'm just saying that. Just make sure. That's advice to everybody. Because I am here and I'm surrounded by giant flan monsters. It's like the Blob, only better for fat people that want to eat things.
Well, this is the very last Monday Night Raw, and of course, Monday Night Raw review for 2012. So we open
Even though this is being broadcast in 2013.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we open up the New Year's Eve edition of Monday Night Raw with Miz TV, with Miz special guest John Cena. Miz wanted John Cena on to talk about everything that's going on with him and AJ over the past couple of months. And then we get the appearance of Team Rhodes Scholars, and Ashley, we see the weird, well, You put it better than I could have ever put it. With Cena's infatuation with Cody Rhodes' mustache.
It was basically like that scene in the Austin Powers where there's the mole.
Oh. I would have laughed, man, if he would have said, mustache. But then it gets turned into a tag team match. A team we never thought we would see, Cena and The Miz, taking on Team Rhodes Scholars. I will say this was a very good opening match for Monday Night Raw. A lot better than the start of last week's one, where we had Santa Claus get run over by Alberto Del Rio. So why couldn't we have this?
Santa got over by a Mexican.
Yep. Stopping by Monday Raw on Christmas Eve. Anyway.
Wow, it was actually about 5 days before Christmas.
Yeah, but it aired on Christmas Eve. But anyway, I will say this though. It looked like there was a lot of good stuff with Cena, Miz, and Team Rhodes Scholars. I thought it was a great match, and Cena and the Miz get the win. Miz puts the Skull Crusher finale on Cody Rhodes, and Cena hits the AA on Damien Sandow and gets the 1-2-3. John Cena and the Miz beat the Team Rhodes Scholars. I gotta say, I loved the opening with Miz TV and the match between Cena, Miz, and the Rhodes Scholars. I thought it was great. Ash, I gotta go for this opening. I gotta go 4 out of 5 on this.
Good match. Opening, I guess it did what it had to do. Anything that puts over Cody and or Sandow is brilliant. So I'll agree with you 4-5.
Next up, this was basically a Champions edition of Monday Night Raw, where basically WWE ripping off Open Fight Night, in a sense. If you're a champion, then you get the right to call out the person that you want to call out and face. So Antonio Cesaro says, since he's in there in the Capitol, by the way, there was an RG3 reference earlier with John Cena. I just want to throw that out there. But Antonio Cesaro, since they're in the Capitol, apparently they want to put him more over as an anti-American who is a championship of America. So, he's anti-United States, but he's the United States champion. And what better way to do that than going into a match and defeating Sergeant Slaughter, and that's what he did. Now
I'm just Now I'm just wondering if Lance Storm is just going to turn up in place of Antonio and say, if I could be serious for a minute.
Well, yeah, probably. The only point I could see to this match happening was again to put more heat on Cesaro. To give him that bigger edge as a heel in the company. He does have a pretty good status right now as a pretty good heel champion for the WWE as a United States champion, but he's just not quite at the level that like a Big Show would be, like a CM Punk would be. But he is rapidly getting there, and Cesaro is very talented, despite the fact he thinks he's fucking Rosetta Stone. But anyway, that's the only reason I could see for them to be putting this match together, Ash. Other than that, I'm going to give the match a 3.5 out of 5 just for Slaughter's chin growing about half an inch.
I'd give it a 3 because it was a good match. It did what it had to do, but it could have had something that was like a jobber that was paid terrific, like Jack Swagger.
Or maybe even
Soaring Eagle could have made a return for one night only.
Or what about the Patriot Del Wilkes?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I wonder how many viewers out there right now who are watching the gameplay and listening to this review actually remember the Patriot Del Wilkes. I wonder how many of... Probably none of them?
Everybody that's watching this, because it's on YouTube, is probably under the age of 10. They love John Cena, they love Sheamus, and
they don't know their wrestling history.
For some reason they hate mustaches. Just stupid.
Well, Team Hell No backstage was trying to figure out who they want to challenge because a matchup was already made. There's a New Year's Eve party going on. Dolph approaches Vicky Guerrero and says, no hard feelings. Let's bygone be bygones. And Vicky said, "Oh, by the way, you're in a match tonight against Sheamus." And of course, Vicky Guerrero was laughing about that. But anyway, after that, the Team Hell No, we also get CM Punk talking with Vicky Guerrero, saying that he wanted to prove to the world that the fact that his knee injury is legit. But for those of you who are thinking that the knee injury is storyline, let me and Ashley really calm the storms of that rumor right now. It is in fact true. That is a legit knee injury by CM Punk, which did require emergency surgery, right, Ash?
Yeah. Clearly the way they're booking it is January 7th is the equivalent to TLC.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that they're hurriedly going to have to hurriedly book. And again, they can do the story straight away, given that, as it was revealed tonight, even though we already knew it, Rock will be present at next week's Raw. And
one might wonder what kind of answer he will have to CM Punk's recent comments concerning the former WWE champion, and also with the new shirt, Knees to Faces, for Go to Sleep. But anyway, now Team Hell No's in the back because they wanted to challenge the Shield, but Vicky Guerrero, through the advice of Paul Heyman and CM Punk, booked a match for Ryback, a 3-on-1 handicap match. Ryback versus Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Robotic Roman Reigns of the Shield. Now, Team Hell No, they wanted to get their hands on the Shield themselves, but considering the fact that they're already booked in the match, that can't happen. So they're wondering, who can they face? Next thing you know, we hear music, or some semblance of music. It sounded like Three Pigs in Heat, and, they pull back the wall, and it's a 3MB, and next thing you know, Kane looks to Daniel Bryan and says, "Yeah? Yes?" And Daniel Bryan responds, "Yes. Yes. Yes." So next thing you know, we have a match with Team Hell No taking on 3MB. No doubt that Team Hell No was going to get the push. I mean, because, Ashley, I got to figure, it was, if WWE really wants to go down the shitter, at this point in time, they would have put the, I know WWE is not really too high on the tag team titles, even though they're really starting to turn that division around as well. But if they really wanted to shit on the tag team division, they would have put the titles on 3MB tonight.
Nah. If they really wanted to shit on the tag team division, Great Khali will become US champion on Wednesday.
Oh God, I'll talk about that on Wednesday night when that happens. But as far as this goes, 3.5 out of 5, because June. I will say this. I stand by what I said earlier about 3MB Ash. McIntyre can pull it off with the look. Heath Slater can pull it off. Jinder Mahal, no place in 3MB. He cannot. An Indian dude cannot pull off being a rock star in wrestling.
In wrestling, yes, but I think an Indian guy can pull off being a rock star.
But you notice I said in wrestling.
Yes, but if it wasn't for the late Ravi Shankar, you wouldn't have had all the crazy shit that the Beatles did in '67. You wouldn't have had Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, all that stuff, if it wasn't for some of the influence of Ravi Shankar and his sitar playing. So, in my opinion, Drew's got potential, Jinder's got potential, and Heath's the weak link.
Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
Heath may have got put over, but for me, he'll be forever known as Wendy's girl. All he needs to do is grow some boobs.
Well, next up, we had CM Punk come out with his doctor, and Ash, I gotta ask,
Is this his Doctor of Thugonomics?
No. But it was some guy playing a doctor. But Ash, I gotta ask, has it ever been revealed that the images they showed on the Titantron, the comparison between a regular knee and what CM Punk's knee was supposed to look like, were those legit photos?
You can't be sure, but the injury that he had would be akin to what the it was good before and after.
Yeah, basically.
Except the other way around.
So
You want to get injured by a wrestler? Hire Ryback. You can have your knee turn from this to this.
Yeah.
Only $59.95. Plus, if you order in time, you get a Biggie Langston black dude scaring off your competitors as a free gift. And if you're not satisfied, you can have a 30-day back guarantee, and you can keep Biggie Langston because we don't want him.
Well, welcome back from that gratuitous wrestling commercial here on the Monday Night Raw review on WGS-TV. I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux, and we're getting back to talking about what happened with the CM Punk segment. Punk was, during the segment, was saying that, he's ready, he wants to face Ryback in the table, ladders, and chairs match next week. And then the guy portraying this doctor, you notice I'm saying guy portraying this doctor because we know for a fact that's not his real doctor. The guy portraying this doctor saying, no, there's no way in good conscience I can clear you. And then Punk starts acting all surprised, so does Paul Heyman. And then we get a really nice surprise in seeing Vince McMahon come out there, and Vince McMahon says the WWE doctors are going to clear you next week, but however, if by chance the doctors don't clear you, then Ryback's going to have an opponent. And then he turns to Paul Heyman and points it right at him. So next week it'll be either we're going to have the tables, ladders, and chairs match between CM Punk and Ryback, which I really want to see, which I believe will have more probative entertainment value than Ryback and Heyman, because the only kind of entertainment value we get out of Ryback and Heyman is the fact that Heyman's going to get his ass squashed.
Really?
Yeah. Then again, you never know if they might have...
expect the Shield if that happens.
Well, the Shield's got to be looming somewhere, and after what happened tonight, that's exactly what could happen, but we'll get to that and talk about that when the time comes. Ash, I'm going to give this segment a 4 out of 5. I thought it was very well done. Everybody was on their mark, and they kept the segment entertaining and interesting. And of course, with the appearance of Vince McMahon and making the ultimatum that next week it's either going to be Punk versus Ryback TLC, or it's going to be Ryback versus Heyman. So again, I'm going to go 4 out of 5 on this one, Ash. What about you?
Gets a 4 from me just for the arrival of Vince. Because when you know Vince is there, you know the ratings are crap.
Well, when Vince is there, they need him there to turn the ratings around because, he was there, I believe, before Hell in a Cell. And when they needed him really badly, when they really needed a big turnaround in the ratings, and that first Raw, when he came back before Hell in a Cell, when this whole thing started with Vince McMahon and CM Punk, that was a really good, epic Raw, and of course that's also when the debut of somebody punching Punk in the back. Fans, keep your hands off the talent. You're not a wrestler, and you're not going to get your 15 freaking minutes of fame by saying, yeah, I punched CM Punk in the back and I got away with it. Big deal. It doesn't make you famous. It makes you a cheap shot artist, if that's what it makes you. Next matchup was set up by Vicky Guerrero during the New Year's Eve party. It's Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler, and we also learned that well, actually, you brought this up to me as well, that Biggie Langston really only has one outfit. But anyway, this was a very good match, I have to say. Sheamus hits the white noise on Dolph Ziggler, gets set up for the bro kick. Biggie Langston tries to interfere and grabs Sheamus' attention. Then Sheamus looks like he was going to go for the zigzag, but Sheamus holds on to the top rope and throws Ziggler into Biggie Langston. By the way, 3 points to Biggie Langston for catching Ziggler. Even though it looked like he almost dropped him, he still caught the white guy. But anyway, looks like we're going to have a standoff between Sheamus and Biggie Langston, which honestly, from what I've seen with Biggie Langston, I think that would have been a very interesting fight to see which way that WWE would go with that one, because they got two really strong physical guys in Sheamus and Ziggler. Then Sheamus and Biggie Langston is what I meant to say. Then out of nowhere, we get the Shield come on in the 3-on-1 beatdown of the former World Heavyweight Champion. I'm kind of scratching my head as to why the Shield would run in on this, but then again, it would kind of be made more clear later on in the evening. But as far as this match goes, Ash, I was highly entertained, even though I will honestly say I only saw the last 3 minutes of it on YouTube because I was away. I will say this, though, it was a very entertaining way to not only finish that match, but to maybe hint at something new for Sheamus to go after besides the World Heavyweight Championship. 4 out of 5 from me.
Yeah, the ending is a bit off, but it did what it had to do. The match, it was probably one of the strongest matches of the night, quality-wise. Anyway, that's probably a bit fair / unfair. I don't know, but yeah, I'll agree. 4 out of 5.
Brad Maddox approaches Paul Heyman in the back, asking for employment, and Paul Heyman just pretty much tells the guy to, as Ash would say, go bugger off, in a sense, right, Ash?
Tits up, hose down.
Let's say, no, I don't know, I can't say that. I'm sorry. I apologize about that one, ladies and gentlemen.
What he means to say is northeastern side.
Exactly. Or the fact I'm in Louisiana. South Central side. I can't say that either. Sorry. Anyway, back to Monday Night Raw. The next champion was Eve Torres.
We could say New Orleans Saints not in the playoff side.
You had to bring that up. You had to bring that up.
You're bringing up street culture. I'm bringing up truth. Where's little Jimmy?
Don't you think I'm hurt enough already? Anyway.
To make it worse, WrestleMania 30 is now going to be held in London.
No! Anyway, back to Monday Night Raw. The next champion to call out on a competitor was Eve Torres in the Divas title. But Eve Torres, for her shenanigans as of late, she calls out who else but Mae Young. Now, Mae Young at first does not appear, so Eve Torres kind of wins the match by forfeit. Then she asks photographers to come in. Ash, now, the way it looks, you know what this looks like to me? What they're doing here with Eve Torres? They're kind of taking Eve and they're kind of changing her to be the next Melina. You know, with the paparazzi, the pictures, and everything like that. Wouldn't you say?
No, they're not trying to make her the next Melina. trying to make her the new kind of Dolph Ziggler, because the reason why she's doing all those photo ops is to look, I beat you. It's not because it's a glitterati kind of thing, like Melina was. It's just, let's rub it in your face.
Well, while she was doing that, out comes Caitlyn. And next thing you know, these two are at each other's throat, and Caitlyn gets the better of it. I will say this, whoever's been taking time out with Eve and Caitlyn to work on their spots and do what they need to do in the ring, I will applaud them, because I am very impressed with the work that Eve Torres and Caitlyn are doing, because they are really, really putting together some good matches and good encounters. The fights and whatnot. And you got to figure with Royal Rumble coming up, they're probably going to maybe build up to a match between these two. And, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing that, because actually, as of late, the Divas really haven't done anything remotely interesting. So, I got to say this, though. Hats off to Torres and Caitlyn, Eve Torres and Caitlyn, on this one, because they're actually grabbing my attention.
Well, they need to, because that's what the Divas division has needed for a while. People that can wrestle, and by the looks of it, you've got two that can wrestle. I just hope it evolves into something good and not doji.
Yeah, definitely.
All hail Sourdough Grey. Sorry, what?
Actually, talk about how this next matchup was set up involving the Big Show.
Oh, we were backstage again at the party, and Ricardo was getting himself a drink of champagne or something fizzy in a bottle anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And Big Show came up behind, and they were speaking in Spanish. Obviously, Big Show knows his Spanish from all the time he was in WCW, wondering what the hell he did with his career. And he then says, "Oh, by the way, I challenge you for the World Heavyweight title," which then, of course, leads to Ricardo dropping his cup, and he's like, "You dropped your cup on my boots." So then he goes down and then cleans it up on the top of his boots. When he then gets $5 or something out and then hands it to Big Show. I think it's $5, or if not, whatever he used as a napkin looked a lot like money. But all I know is that Ricardo was like, "Oh crap." Which is ironic, but we'll get to that.
So out comes the Big Show for this matchup, and Ricardo's getting ready to make his entrance, and unlike the Royal Rumble earlier this year, I'll say 2012 this year, because it's still 2012 at the time of this recording, unlike that, I know it was like a regular run-of-the-mill broken down car that they had Ricardo come out in at the Royal Rumble. They actually had him come out in one of more like a Del Rio-esque type of car, in a brand new car.
Well, it was one of Del Rio's, I think it was his Mercedes.
And of course, Del Rio's out there to support his friend. And I will say this, so much for Del Rio going on Twitter saying, "Oh, I'm not turning face. Oh wait, yes I am."
Yeah, well, they kind of left it up in the air after last week, which really hurt it, because, as I mentioned last week, after they went off air, Santa gave a present to both Ricardo and Alberto, and it was all happy at the end, and then that was it.
Well, just as Big Show was getting ready to put Ricardo out of his misery with I still want to call it the weapon of mass destruction. I don't care what anybody else says. I mean, I didn't really see a point to WWE changing the name of the signature move. It's still the WMD, and I still have the freaking shirt that says WMD. So I call it a big freaking hand.
Now I call it timber.
Alberto Del Rio rushes the ring, which of course results in a disqualification of Ricardo, but nonetheless, it's setting up something big for Big Show and Alberto Del Rio down the line. Del Rio with a great super kick to the jaw of the Big Show, kind of knocking him out. You know, we actually heard the of his shoe hitting the face of the Big Show. Yes, and of course the crowd erupted for that one. So yeah, that's really pushing Del Rio towards face status now in the WWE. I'm going to go 3.5 out of 5 on this one, Ash. It was okay, but I really want to see more of Big Show and Del Rio. You know, even more than what they did on Friday Night SmackDown.
3 out of 5 because Ricardo should have won. Because Ricardo is a good wrestler, and all he's having to do is
and having various food items being poured on him. Next up,
including spilling his own drink on himself.
Yeah. Well, next up, the Intercontinental title was on the line as Kofi Kingston chose Wade Barrett to be his opponent. Now, you want to talk a matchup that was just as strong, if not stronger, than Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler. It was Kofi Kingston and Wade Barrett. This was by far a really great match in the series of matches that they've had, even dating back to last year in the title match they had on Friday Night SmackDown, and that when Wade Barrett was still part of the core, and that matchup was still a very good, epic match, and this matchup really matched up to that, in my opinion. It was a great match. Barrett hits the bullhammer elbow on Kofi Kingston, and now Barrett is the new WWE Intercontinental Champion. I think that's a good decision on WWE's part. It really kind of strengthens the rivalry in a sense for Barrett and Kofi Kingston, because, you know, in all championship contracts, if the champion loses, there's an automatic rematch clause. So, the thing is, you know, but here's my thing with this, Ash. I really don't want to see Barrett being a transitional champion. I don't want to see that happening because he has the makings to be a really good champion. Right now, WWE, maybe they have too many heel champions, you know, in a sense. You know, you got Punk, you got Cesaro, but well, then again, we probably could use a little bit more of a heel champion in the WWE to kind of, well, it's back and forth. Maybe we got too many heel champions, Ash. What do you think?
I honestly think Barrett isn't truly heel here. Because the fans were cheering for him quite a bit because they know he's had a fair few knocks. Mm-hmm. They know that he is probably ready for that top level.
Oh, yeah.
Because that match he had with Randy Orton with Cena as referee back at Survivor Series 2010 was a good match.
I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5, Ashley. I was very entertained. This was a very great match with Barrett and Kingston. And like I said, you know, kudos to Barrett becoming the Intercontinental Champion. Again, I think that's a good move on WWE's part to put the title back on Barrett after being gone for so long. And it can only do wonder for the rivalry between Barrett and Kingston to make it even stronger that, you know, that Kingston will go after Barrett again, as you said on Friday Night SmackDown, with a return match for the Intercontinental title. So I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5, Ash.
I'll agree 4.5 out of 5 because I honestly think 2013 is going to be a year for Wade Barrett. He is going to win something major. Either Royal Rumble, either a world title, or the most likely, in my opinion, some briefcase.
What follows next still boggles my mind.
Oh God, no.
We're just going to sum it up real short for you guys because we don't want to take too much time on this because it's a segment that it's basically Mae Young is giving birth to the New Year's baby, and basically she was shitting it out because you heard the sound effect being used, and out pops out Hornswoggle in a diaper, wearing a New Year's sash, smoking a cigarette, and drinking milk out of a baby bottle.
No, not a cigarette, a cigar.
Cigar?
And also had an Abraham Lincoln style hat on.
Yeah.
Then was put in Mae Young's arms, and then was given like a baby's bottle.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. But one of the following that, we were supposed to have one of our featured.
No. We need to make a point here. That segment alone is why 3-hour Raw should be 2-hour Raws.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the scale of good writing that you can get, I mean, when you can have something like that, and then the very final segment, which we'll get to, it's like, you know, an Adam Sandler movie and Gone with the Wind. You cannot make a comparison. And if you do, you're a nerdy film critic.
Next up, one of the featured matches was The Shield taking on Ryback in a 3-on-1 handicap match. But the match really never gets started, as Ryback was making his way down to the entrance ramp, and The Shield decides to jump him and attack him. I will say this, though, Seth Rollins, again, kudos to him. He gets bounced off the security railing by Ryback like he was a ping pong ball. But next you know, The Shield regains the advantage over Ryback, and then out comes Sheamus to get revenge on The Shield's attack from earlier in the night. But again, the numbers just not in favor of Ryback and Sheamus until the return of the Viper, Randy Orton. Yes, Randy Orton back and goes after The Shield, and of course Dean Ambrose eats an RKO. So now the odds are pretty much even again, 3-on-3. Somewhere down the line, Ash, we're going to be seeing a 6-man tag between The Shield, Ryback, Sheamus, and Randy Orton. One might think probably, if not on Friday Night SmackDown, then next week on Monday Night Raw. No, we can't do that next week on Monday Night Raw because Ryback's going to be involved in either in a title match or squashing of Paul Heyman. So one might figure somewhere down the line we're going to see a 6-man tag with these gentlemen. Wouldn't you think?
Why don't we do it on Superstars? Everybody, oh wait.
Main event? Oh wait. Well, anyway, 3 out of 5 on that one, Ash. I don't know what else to say about that.
3.5 because it was Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, and they are the future of this company.
And then the
Roman Reigns, he still does it for the Raw.
And then the finale of Monday Night Raw, the New Year's Eve toast with Dolph Ziggler, AJ Styles, and Biggie Langston.
Whoever wrote this is a genius.
Yes, exactly. It is basically, it started out as a rib on John Cena and the year he's had. And then John Cena became officially uninvited to attend their toast. So Biggie Langston, being the black guy in the ring, had to go out there and guard the ring, make sure John Cena wouldn't come out there. But Cena then appears on the entrance ramp and pretty much tells Biggie Langston, "Hold on, Mr. T. I didn't come here to fight. I came here to talk." And then we get John Cena begins to basically agree with what Ziggler was saying, right, Ash?
Pretty much. He hasn't had a good year, but he sticks by his guns. He may not have changed his uniform much, but that's because he still goes by the 3 words that have been his words since day one. Hustle, loyalty, and naked cheerleaders. I mean, respect.
Well, anyway, he begins to congratulate AJ on the year that she's had. She's had 1 relationship, 2, then 3, 4. John Cena was the 5th.
It's not 1 potato.
It's not 2 potatoes.
It's 1 relationship, 2 relationship, 3 relationship,
4, 5
relationship, 6 relationship, 7 relationship, more.
So I wonder who's going to follow Dolph Ziggler in that act, if I say so myself. And then starts to make comments of the fact that they were in white outfits, that John Cena could make 1,000,000 jokes and about 4 more about what AJ was wearing, but then decides to do the ultimate in humiliation towards Dolph Ziggler and AJ, dumps a pile of crap all over Ziggler and AJ.
Now, the creative people, or the backstage makeup or props department, clearly have changed the recipe on what crap looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Because the one that the people got covered in the ring tonight looked a lot like Chocolate Angel Delight.
Yeah. Yeah, nowhere near...
Whereas the one that was done in '06 with the McMahons did look like it was some sort of clay. So it did look like it had the right consistency.
Yeah, clay with pieces of corn. Back in
Clearly it wasn't
2006.
pieces of corn, it was probably Lego blocks.
What?
Those tiny little single yellow blocks that you get in the sets.
Well, in essence, this was a very entertaining ending to Monday Night Raw. John Cena also makes the announcement that he is entering the Royal Rumble this year.
You don't mention the biggest bit.
About, do I have to say? You know what, Ash? I can't say it. You say it.
He references backstage how he keeps going, oh, the people that are creative are holding me back and I should get my chance. That's just... If that's the writing from creative, that's brilliant because that's definitely true. Because this guy should have been in the world title hunt 12 months ago. And they never gave him a bloody chance.
And the last thing we need to mention about Monday Night Raw, by the way, the ending is going to get a 5 out of 5 from me. A very entertaining way to end the Monday Night Raw. John Cena was very hilarious in his jokes, and of course, the ending was very hilarious. But you know, they're doing a lot of setup for a huge feud with this huge feud between Ziggler and Cena. So, very interesting to see where they go next in 2013 as it pertains to Ziggler and Cena in this feud. But the thing we also need to lastly announce on next week's Monday Night Raw, yes, he's coming back once again. The Rock is going to be on next week's Monday Night Raw.
And people should be excited.
Yeah,
to be quite honest.
Well, go ahead.
Well, the reason why they need to be excited is the last few months of tedium from WWE on both Raw and SmackDown has even left me pretty disinterested. And the fact is, there's a new face there, even though he's an old face and he's been away for a bit, but he's going to cause, because he's there, I swear quite a lot of the guys are going to step their game up, both creatively and talent-wise.
You know, actually, now that you put it like that,
months are going to be good. The question is, can they keep it until when Rock disappears after WrestleMania when he drops the title?
Well, actually, now that you put it like that, then maybe it could be interesting again. Overall score, Monday Night Raw this week is going to get a 4 out of 5 from me. I love the opening with Miz TV and Cena and Rhodes Scholars and the weird infatuation with Cody Rhodes' mustache. But then the matchup with John Cena and The Miz defeating Team Rhodes Scholars, so I thought it was entertaining. The only point, again, like I said already, to Antonio Cesaro beating Sergeant Slaughter is to draw more heat on Cesaro being an anti-American holding the United States title. Team Hell No defeating 3MB was kind of obvious. The CM Punk, Paul Heyman, Vince McMahon segment, I think, was a nice setup to what could happen on next week's Monday Night Raw. Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler, a very strong match at that point in the card, and of course, then the appearance of the Shield beating down Sheamus. Brad Maddox asking Paul Heyman for a job. Let me say this. I've seen Brad Maddox's YouTube channel. I wish I hadn't. That's all I'm saying. If you want to go see the Brad Maddox experience, it'll leave you wondering what was the experience. Because I didn't experience.
Just try Jimi Hendrix instead.
Yeah. Eve Torres and Caitlyn, again, the Divas really need to do something interesting, and they really are with Torres and Caitlyn over the Divas title. Big Show and Ricardo into a no contest. So much for Alberto Del Rio being a heel in the company. But you never know. It could be a welcome change. You know, a lot of good changes in the WWE. Miz turning face, and that's so far been a welcomed addition by the WWE Universe. And Alberto Del Rio turning face might not be such a bad thing for the WWE either. Wayne Barrett defeating Kofi Kingston to become the new Intercontinental Champion, by far strongest match of the night. Mae Young giving birth to Hornswoggle as a New Year's baby kind of makes me queasy. And then we have the Shield beating down Ryback, then gets rescued by Sheamus, who then gets rescued by Randy Orton, and of course Orton RKO's Dean Ambrose. Whenever you have an appearance by Orton, of course someone's going to get RKO'd. And then the ending with Dolph Ziggler and AJ getting crapped on, literally. Very entertaining segment, and of course the announcement of John Cena entering the Royal Rumble was okay. And of course then we have The Rock coming back on next week Monday Night Raw. At first I was frowning on it, but then the way that Ashley, the Stunt Man, put it, could be a welcome change and could help the ratings for Monday Night Raw. So overall, Ashley, from me, he gets a 4 out of 5. What about you?
I'll agree. The positive things to go. Sheamus and Ziggler was good. Kofi and Wade was very good. The final segment was probably one of the best segments that Raw has had, non-wrestling wise, in quite a while. And the only negative thing I want to say, rather than just heap it on certain matches or anything, it's the fact that you've got too long a show.
Yeah.
It's okay to do special 3 hours, but 3 hours week in, week out, it is overkill, to be quite honest.
Yeah. So what
you need to have is 2 hours, the traditional 11 segments with your 10 adverts in there, and just go it like that. And I'm fearing that despite the presence of Rock, and no doubt Undertaker will somehow come back, and Triple H will come back in some capacity, and most likely Lesnar will come back in some capacity in the next 3 months. This should be a time to be excited. But I am pensive because I'm thinking with the writing that they've currently got in store, I mean, look at the Hornswoggle thing tonight. Dear Lord. If that's the best they can come up with for when Lesnar and Rock are on the show, then Vince is going to be even more angry. He might actually kill people at THQ because he lost $45 million to him.
So, what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on the New Year's Eve edition of Monday Night Raw. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video, and please don't forget to subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. So for the Studley Man Ashley, I'm WWE Billy Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching.
What Jeff Hardy is thinking of WWE Raw. I wonder if I can eat that baby.